All right. Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, this is something that Sensei Rick calls the floating foot. When I learned this technique, there was no name for it. So, and remember, as martial arts people, we want as much as possible to cite your sources. Where do you get this material from? Okay, so let me go ahead and say that. The name comes from Sensei Rick. I learned it before that, and when I learned Arnis in the very beginning in the early 90s, this was not shown to me, okay? My instructor was more of a close range combat type of guy. The floating foot to me is more long range type stuff. So it was different. And, I believe that was just my instructor's way. And that doesn't mean that Arnis people don't do that, okay? I'm just saying that in my case, the way that I learned it, I didn't learn it right away. So later on, when I was studying Kali and Escrima, the best way for you guys to see it is look up Kali and Escrima here on YouTube, and look up guys from the experts, the masters over there in the Philippines, and watch them, and you're gonna see that like all the good guys, they pretty much do it. So what I'm talking about is this, okay? So you're doing something like a Heaven 6. Boom, 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 boom. Like this, okay? As you're doing it, you notice the foot goes back, like so, okay? So once again, when you see a lot of the good guys, the guys that are over there in the Philippines, the experts and stuff, you'll see a lot of them do that, okay? That it's just like a rhythm that they put in, and this front leg keeps going back. So the hands could be doing whatever, boom, 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 boom. And they have that rhythm, okay? And that's because they are trying to avoid the low line attack, okay? Because all it takes is here to here, and if that lands on your leg, it's devastating. So to avoid it, boom, they're constantly bringing that leg back. Okay, so one of the things that I like to connect it to is in Thai boxing, when someone wants to kick you in the thigh, we have the leg check, okay? So the floating foot is this, where I'm just shifting my weight to the back here, like so. Shifting it backwards. So for the Thai boxing, where someone wants to kick me in the leg and I bring it back, it's very similar. It's very compatible. It's compatible in motion. So if someone wants to kick you right here, boom, like so, boom, like this, okay? And the reason why I'm turning is if they kick really hard, I'd rather receive the force facing towards the force than not, because if it's over here, and even if I do this, I could get off balanced easier. But if it's this way, if I have the time to turn more towards it, then if the force is very strong, it just pushes me back, okay? So that's why there's the turning in there, and it helps me let the blow glance more, okay? So now, the other thing is, of course, since I brought up that's the leg check against the kick to the thigh, the low kick, right? Well, the other one is in the Filipino martial arts and also Jeet Kune Do circles, you hear about destructions. And destruction is now you're going to point your knee into the kick. So they're going to kick you in the thigh, and you're going to point your knee right into it, okay? So if you feel confident at that, you could definitely do that, have that option in there, okay? The thing about that is, as I'm right here and I'm doing the floating foot like this, boom, 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 boom. What I like is, if you are going to do that, is to point. See how I'm pointing right here? Boom. It almost takes me forward because my weight is forward. It's not here. It's not I'm doing this and my weight's back here and they try to kick me in the thigh and my weight's back here. It's more my weight is here, okay? So when they go to kick me in the thigh, I point it and I'm forward, coming in with some shots right there. So this destruction right there, I like that movement that it actually takes me forward. So that the mechanics there is a little bit different, okay? So if you feel confident to do that, then go for it, okay? For me, there were many times where I just didn't feel like I was good enough to pull that off in full contact. But that's another option. Now, the next thing that I want to bring up is same idea here, bringing the leg back. This time, the opponent wants to do a takedown. So if they want to take me down, then I shoot the leg all the way back, and now I can stop their takedown, okay, because I change levels too. So I don't just get caught like this and they take me down. I'm meeting them here, and I could put in the double underhooks and stop the takedown. Now, traditionally, wrestlers sprawl, and for me on the street, I feel a lot more comfortable doing this than trying to do a sprawl because A, I'm not a wrestler, B, I'm not good at sprawling. So yeah, just shooting my leg back, it feels like a much better option for me. Now, the next one, coming in here, same idea, moving the leg back like this, boom, 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 boom. Moving the leg back. We could also use the body shifting. Body shifting, that terminology comes from Professor Bram Frank, which is the Arnis branch, the original Filipino martial art that I studied. The first one that I studied was the Arnis, same branch from Professor Remy Presas. But okay, so that's where I learned the word body shifting. Okay, so right there, boom, boom, like so. Okay, 1, 2. So I'm just bringing the leg back using my body, but it's not the same as I'm here and I'm doing this, okay? Because if I do that, notice my right leg is right here, and what I did the second time was where my left leg is now where the right leg was, and that's not what I want to do. I want to change the distance here. So from here, boom, 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 I brought the right leg back right here. So boom, boom, right here. Okay, right here, we're close, and then now I'm a little bit further away using that. And of course I could do the reverse, where I'm coming from here, where it looks like you have more distance, and boom, I turn into a strike and I'm much closer now. So either way, this leg is the pivot. Boom, 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 right here. I'm pivoting off of the base leg there, okay? So those to me are all connected to the floating foot, and I hope you like it. Thanks for viewing. Take care, folks.